Disney's sing-along songs, Campout at Walt Disney World, also known as Mickey's Fun Songs, Campout at Disney World, is pretty good fun. This was released in 1994, it's directed by the brilliant Gary Halvorson, and that is actually quite interesting. Because Gary Halvorson directed quite a bit of Two and a Half Men, and there's a song in this, well, a tune in this, that I'm so sure is the same as a tune from Two and a Half Men, but it's actually the last song, so I'll get there when we get there chronologically, but for the record, Gary Halvorson didn't direct the episode of Two and a Half Men that features that tune, so it's kind of a moot point, but nevertheless, I thought it was pretty interesting. And while I usually prefer Disney sing-alongs that comprise mostly Disney songs, I actually thought this was pretty good. We have characters dressed up as Mickey and Minnie and the rest of them, and then we have a lot of children who are having fun at camp. Now, that element's not relatable for me. Summer camps are not really a thing in the UK, but we have so many great songs, and the transitions from one song to the next are so seamless, and some of them blend in a little bit together, and it's just an absolute delight and really put a smile on my face. So visually, it's pretty good. I definitely get the strong summer camp atmosphere. Love seeing the characters, and then we have the songs. So I will now go through the songs, which are of course the main selling point, and share some thoughts. But in general, my overall opinion is that it's a pretty great selection of songs, even if they're not very Disney. So we have Coming Round the Mountain, which I love. We then do have a Disney, the Bare Necessities, which is obviously an absolute delight. Then we have the Caissons Go Rolling Along, which I don't think I'd ever heard, but it's the same tune as the Rocket song from Barney, so that entertained me. Then we have the Happy Wanderer, which I didn't recognise, and then a couple of personal favourites, Oh Susanna and Camptown Races. We then have a couple that I didn't recognise. Well, I don't know, I think I may be recognised by The Beautiful Sea. There was something vaguely familiar about it, but at the same time, I didn't completely love it. We then have one called Don't Fence Me In, which I hadn't heard, and I rather liked. It's unusual for a Disney sing-along song to feature a song that I hadn't heard, and then for that song to actually really stand out, so that was pretty great. We then have Turkey and Straw, which is awesome, and then Talent Roundup, and then Jeepers Creepers, which is of course a fabulous song, and then Mountain Greenery, and then a couple that I really love. We have Country Roads. I wasn't expecting it. I honestly don't necessarily feel like Country Roads fits in here. It kind of feels a little bit different to the rest of the songs. But if somebody were to tell me that it's actually a song that children sing quite regularly at summer camps, then fair enough, I'll take that. And then we have If You're Happy and You Know It, which of course is an iconic song, but actually there are some lyrics in this that I'd never heard of, some different directions. I won't spoil it by saying what they are, but it was a slight variation on the classic song. And then we get to Goodnight Campers, the very last song, and the one where instantly my ears pricked up. And I thought, hang on, I recognise that tune. And the tune is, I'm so certain, I actually went to the Two and a Half Men episode to listen, and although this one's a little bit slower, I'm pretty sure they're the exact same tune to Bye Bye Boobies. It's a Charlie Waffles song. This will all sound very peculiar if you don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm so certain it's the same tune. Also testament to that song, because I haven't seen, apart from just now, I hadn't seen that episode of Two and a Half Men in many, many, many years, maybe a decade, yet I could still sing it, and the tune was still so prominent, so definitely worked very well. And then when I saw this was directed by Gary Halvorson, it just amused me. That being said, Gary Halvorson did not direct the Is There a Mrs. Waffles episode of Two and a Half Men, so it's not that much of a coincidence, but I really liked it. If anybody can confirm that it actually is the same tune, please let me know. But it's not what I expected to be thinking of by the time we got to the end of this sing-along songs. All that being said, this is a delightful selection of songs. Visually, it's really fun, and I enjoyed it so much better than I thought. As I mentioned before, I do prefer the Disney sing-along songs where they're comprising mostly Disney songs, but because the song selection here is great and we get the characters dressed up and the footage is really fun, I rather enjoyed it. I thought Campout at Walt Disney World was pretty great and definitely worth checking out.